Philippines and friends around the world, we had an earthquake in the province of Abra in the island of Luzon, the Philippines. This occurred about a couple of days ago. I waited a couple of days because I wanted to wait for the official casualty counts. Um, when I heard it was a 7.0 magnitude earthquake, I was just filled with horror because that is an enormous, enormous shake. Um, uh, I base that on my experiences here in California, where we get our fair share of earthquakes. The strongest that I've ever experienced was a 6.7 magnitude earthquake, and this was in 1994, and the epicenter was in Northridge, California. Um, and in that particular earthquake, uh, it was reported that approximately 57 people perished. About 9,000 individuals were injured, and property damages exceeded 90 billion US dollars in today's dollars. So the numbers were simply horrific. The economic impact, I'm trying to recall what happened immediately after, because in 1994, I was a mortgage banker. I was running a mortgage company called Capital America Corporation. And we were funders of real estate collateralized loans, home loans, and things of that nature. And the impact was severe and almost immediate, because overnight insurance companies left the state of California. They were holding the bag because now they had a lot of homeowners at their doorsteps trying to fund their policies because their houses were damaged. Unfortunately, not all of them were able to be paid because not everyone had insurance for earthquakes. Here in California, in order for you to secure a real estate loan, you'll have to get what is called a title insurance, and also a hazard insurance, or fire, property damage, and things of that nature. But earthquake insurance in those days, I'm not sure whether it's true today, but in those days it was not required. And so people were left with homes that they could not repair because they could not get um, their policies to fund their repairs, which was very, very, very unfortunate. Um, well, there in Abra, the response was not only swift; it was quite comprehensive, because the newly elected president, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., was there close to the epicenter the next day, presiding over the response. And sitting beside him was the provincial governor, Governor Dominic Valera. Um, on a different interview, Governor Valera reported that one individual, a pregnant woman, died in the provincial capital. It's phonetically spelled Bang-Ued. I think locally it's pronounced Bangid. Um, so horrific, but the last count, because I waited a couple days to vlog about this, only 6 have died. Okay, of course, one is too many. 6 have died, and less than 150 people were injured. No amount yet in terms of property damage. Um, you know, the people in the islands are quite resilient, to be sure. And so it goes to show that it isn't so much what happens; it's really how you respond to it. And I remember growing up there in the Philippines. See, the country is situated in what is called the Ring of Fire. Uh, it is a portion of the Pacific where there is very high volcanic and earthquake activity. And the Philippines also is visited by approximately 20 typhoons every year, about a quarter of which are quite destructive. But I remember when I was growing up there in the 70s and 80s, classes would be canceled because of typhoons. Um, and that would give us an opportunity to have what we call adventures. We would take our bicycles and visit all these affected areas because just the day before, the place looked different. And a tropical typhoon comes through there, depending on how powerful it is, it will look different. It will be flatter, less greener, wetter, muddier. And in those days, we would take our bikes or we would walk around, and often we would find ourselves near a swelling creek. I remember one time after a particular typhoon collecting trunks of fallen banana trees and building rafts with it. And we tie it together and then we'd shoot the rapids, so to speak. It was pretty sketchy because we weren't wearing any life preservers or anything like that, and so safety wasn't a concern. I guess it's one of those things about the boundless energy of youth, and which it's what makes us who we are. So certainly we can accept that PINs are used to that. They're very good at responding to calamities because the country is very prone to that kind of trouble. But being able to endure does not mean that you should be able to take the suffering for it. So here at 7600 Islands, we'd like to offer you our deepest and warmest best wishes, hoping that you'd come out of it stronger, reminded of what Nietzsche once said, that which does not break me makes me stronger. So hopefully you'll come out of it in one piece and be able to forge forward with a life that is much, much better than the day before. Mabuhay kayong lahat.